football's making the show. 7 seconds left. Hoya's down 3. Des Thomas II. Hoist it to Jimmy Kibble.
Oh, Jimmy Kibble?
We got Kibbles and Bits.
Kibbles and Bits.
In Georgetown. In a Hail Mary and a winner. Patrick Ewing's not walking through that door. Georgetown football is. How about that? How about Jimmy Kibble?
I love it. I like that name. That's got to be an NIL deal, right? Kibbles and Bits?
I mean, if he's not getting paid for dog food, I don't know what he's doing.
Got to.
EJ Manuel, Joey Galloway, and Matt Berry, happy week 6 of the college football season. Welcome into College Football Final, the best and most comprehensive college football show out there. Going into Saturday, we're thinking, there's a lot of marquee matchups, but the one in the SEC I think a lot of people were pointing to as a potential upset was in the swamp with the Gators coming off the bye week. Then again, so was Sark and the Texas Longhorns. What will we see out of Arch? More on him in a minute. Story early on, Florida's run game.
Florida ran the ball for over 100 yards in the first half. Texas has given up 60 yards per game. That was the story.
It was 7-0 early. Now it's time for Arch. We saw some good Arch. His Quintravian Wise there for the touchdown. Texas grabs the 10 down, 10-7.
Yeah, and this is big. You get Arch out on the edge to where he can make a play. He can run it. He throws it there to Wise, and he walks it in.
I got to tell you, though, DJ Lagway was good.
Yeah, and Wilson's a freshman. He's 6'3". Great moves. Physical receiver, made some plays.
Dallas Wilson is who he's talking about. And then we had a blocked punt on special teams.
And this is how you win football games. You find ways to get extra possessions, but also you get points right here. The ball gets knocked down, ends up being a safety.
Taylor Spierto there, 19-7 Gators at the half. What do the Longhorns
Gotta
have?
have it.
Trick
Gotta
play.
have it. Gotta have it. Yeah. You can't draw it up any better than that. Nope.
Jack Endries had him beat. Wingo couldn't come up with it because he's not a quarterback. Good thing Manning finds Wingo the right way, 22-14.
Arch doing a great job moving up in the pocket, getting out of there so he can find Wingo. 4 catches on the day, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
Every time Texas scored, Lagway and Wilson had an answer.
Wilson had 6 catches, 111 yards. And watch the physicality, about 215 pounds. Drags him in the end zone.
We've heard how special this kid could be. He did it on a national stage, 29-14, headed to the fourth quarter. Under 8 minutes to go. Same score. Manning tries to force it to DeAndre Moore Jr. Devin Moore, no relation, we don't think, interception.
Yeah, this is a heck of a play by Devin Moore. Comes off the hash, flies over, makes the interception.
So Manning again has an opportunity. Big shot to Moore, brings it down to 1.
They got some momentum now. Manning had a pretty good game, 290 yards, 298 yards passing. Can he make the plays in the fourth quarter?
We wanted to see what he could do in this situation. Wisner punches. Is that 29-21?
Yeah, look, Texas hasn't been able to run a football all day, but when it counted right there in the red zone, they found a way to get it.
So after forcing a punt, Manning tries to escape, brought down, helmet comes off, has to leave for
now he has to come out of the game. And one of the problems for Manning is standing in the pocket a little too long with this pressure.
By the way, how about Matthew Caldwell coming in and just throwing a seed on 2nd and 22?
Hey, look, next man up, and at times when you need somebody to come in and get you a spark, he certainly does right there. Excellent job throwing it in phase.
So that was his one play. He comes out, Manning back in, rolls to his left, and just tries
no
to...
timeouts. Texas has no timeouts.
Yeah.
So he's trying to make a play here, throws it down there. They got to take a second look at this. Ball hits the ground, no interception.
So one final chance. Manning. Sack.
This is really the story of the entire day. Florida brought pressure all day long. 6 sacks, but they certainly pressured probably in double digits.
It was chaotic in the end. Then he snaps it. Spikes it with no time left on the clock. The Gators with the upset, snapping a 3-game losing streak.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm humbled to be associated with that group of young people. For them to maintain the energy, the attitude, the effort, regardless of the narrative. They ain't no quit in that group.
Ultimately, it's experience, and right now we're just not an experienced group, especially not an experienced group playing together. And so we've got to keep pushing those guys to be the best that they can be. I know there's more in there. I know there's better play in there, and it's our job to get it out of them.
Remember, Texas came in as the preseason #1 team in the country. Florida's had some success against the Manning family at the Swamp. Although they threw for almost the same amount of yards as Uncle Eli, Arch couldn't get the win. Uncle Peyton averaged 340 in 2 games at the Swamp, but he was unable to get a win. So if you're a Manning, try to avoid going to Florida. Okay, so that was one upset. We're thinking, okay, Florida, Texas, a lot of people ID'd that one. Penn State closes a 24.5-point favorite. There wasn't anybody on the planet that thought UCLA had a chance in this game, but early on it was clear Nico Iamaleava had other plans.
It's early. Penn State's not awake yet. You're still thinking they'll come back.
17-7 at this point. Then Iamaleava.
Wow.
Look at this throw.
Nico Iamaleava looking like the quarterback we saw at Tennessee last year, making a huge connection
But
down
I'll
the field.
tell you what he did on Saturday. He used his legs.
He ran the ball 16 carries, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns, and now you're starting to think, is it possible?
It is 24-7. Worth noting, Jerry Neuheisel was named offensive coordinator just 3 days before the game. He's calling ball plays, but here come the Nittany Lions through Allard to Khalil Dinkins.
Yeah, and this was big because they had to get something going offensively. Surprisingly, Penn State could not run the football against UCLA.
And then you're thinking, here it goes.
This is UCLA. They're 0-4. It was exciting early. Now here comes Penn State to take over the game.
Now 27-21, but you knew it was going to be different here. 3rd and 7, Iamaleava, you've got him bottled up, you've got all the momentum, and then he does this for 51 yards.
This is where he takes over the football game, and this is a gashing run because at this point, Penn State, they're doing some things on offense, trying to get the ball back right there. Breaks his back right there by getting the scramble. That hurts the defense all the time.
And look, he's a really good passer, but it was another touchdown. He just did it with he separated himself with his feet.
On this play, just more physical. He wanted to get in the end zone way more than Penn State wanted to stop him.
Was he a $160 soaking wet?
Looks like 130.
Here comes Allard, trying to keep him in it. It's a 2-score game. He gets 27 to the 2.
Yeah, I like the fight by Allard. Look, you've had a struggle in the first half, but you find a way to make the guy miss. Ends up being an explosive run, almost a touchdown.
Then Katron Allen. Now it's 34-28.
Still feeling like the Penn State's going to get back in this one. They're only down 6.
Right. Anyone watching thinks that's going to happen, but again,
Don't let him run.
Don't.
They ran it for 269 against a Penn State defense that we know to be better than this.
I mean, he looked like Vince Young.
Yes, he did.
4 minutes left, just over. Allard, Kyron Hudson, what a grab. Penn State still in this 42-35.
And again, I love the fight by the Nittany Lions here. They're down. They're probably getting embarrassed at this point, losing to a winless team, but they find a way to try to make it close.
So after a stop on defense for Penn State, this was their call on 4th and 2.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Drew Allard was their leading rusher in the game. I mean,
that's true, but it's not that.
That did not look good.
They bungled.
I love this right here. This is a brilliant play by UCLA. They're backed up and have to punt inside their own end zone, take the safety, make Penn State go the length of the field to score with no timeouts.
And then one you know how these go. Like
and look, but this was weird though, because there was no true sense of urgency by the Penn State skill players. Like at least try to make something happen. Just take the L.
Give credit where credit is due. UCLA and a shocker. There's Jerry Neuheisel getting carried off the field, 42-37.
So proud of the team and the coaches. We hung together, we stuck together. Everybody counted us out, but we knew we were just going to go to work. Just go to work. Every single play counted today. I mean, that's a top-notch Penn State team. We kept our minds right. We just continue to execute. I'm just so proud of the team.
Did not come out with the right energy to start the game. And before you know it, obviously they get a touchdown drive, an onside kick, and now you're fighting. They gain confidence, and we're fighting for the next 3 quarters. So that's my responsibility, and I didn't get it done.
He did not get it done. UCLA did, however, snapping a 16-game losing streak against AP top 10 opponents. Bruins also became the 5th team in AP poll history to be 0-4 or worse and beat a top 10 opponent. For Penn State, it's the first time they've lost consecutive games since 2021. All of this with a roster that we thought was able to contend for a national championship. We'll get to Penn State and UCLA in a minute. I want to back up to Texas and Florida. You saw in the again, this was a game coming in, people ID'd as a potential upset. Yeah. We saw some good and some bad for Arch. Passer failing grade from him on Saturday at the Swamp with Texas.
You got to go failing, but the reason why is because the offensive line is really not protecting Arch clearly enough. And we talk about the 6 sacks, but how about the pressures, at least double-digit amount of pressures, and even times where Arch got a chance to sit in the pocket and throw the football, whether he was holding the ball too long, or there was just a D tackle or a defensive end in his lap every single time. And as a quarterback from experience, that is really hard to do. Then you start to press. Florida scores 19 points in that first half. Texas is playing from behind early in the game. That's why it didn't look so good today.
Arch Manning had 37 yards rushing. The rest of the team had 15 yards rushing.
That's a problem.
The storyline in both games we're going to talk about is the team didn't run the ball well, and it's put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Arch Manning holds the ball too long. There is no question about that. With a team like Florida is going to put pressure on him, you can't do that. He's playing in SEC.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any easier. It has to get the ball out. Even on his touchdown, ball was late.
Right.
He played better in this game than he did in the opening game against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Still not there yet. But unless they can run the football, he is going to struggle. It's difficult when the rest of your team runs the ball for 15 yards.
And you know what's interesting, too, is when he was on the run and he throw that ball to wing, you're like, no, that's a hell of a play by a young quarterback. And then you're right. The good is mixed with the bad, but Texas goes down on the road in the swamp. The other game, to me, again, 24.5-point favorites coming off the loss to Oregon. UCLA has struggled mightily throughout the year. To me, Joey, this loss for Penn State is absolutely inexcusable.
You have Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen in your backfield. Maybe the best backfield in the country.
Yeah.
Right. Notre Dame might have an argument, but maybe the best backfield in the country, and Drew Aller led them in rushing. On the other side, they gave up 269 yards rushing.
To UCLA.
It does not matter who you play. You give up 269, you lose to an 0-4 UCLA when Drew Aller is your best runner. On fourth down, we talked about the call. Didn't look great. But the guy who led them in rushing in this game was carrying the ball. He had 78 yards rushing. When you watch Penn State do what they did in this game, this is disheartening. Losing to Oregon is one thing. Oregon's a really good football team. UCLA was 0-4. You get now 27-7 with a team that runs the ball 269 yards. You lose.
This looked like a team that allowed that one loss to Oregon last week, which was a heartbreaker, turn into two now. And they come across the country, play a UCLA team that has not looked good at all, just lost to Northwestern most recently. No wins of the season. They probably went to that stadium and said, we got one. We got this, fellas. We're good. And it just did not dot their I's, cross their T's. Just not clean play from Penn State, which is really shocking considering that this is a veteran football team. You talk about those running backs, even the guys on the defensive line, just not clean enough. And look, Iamaleava's not a running quarterback, 128 yards rushing.
He's not known as one,
He is now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he is now.
Maybe they keep that up.
And by the way, again, credit UCLA and Neuheisel, the new offensive play caller, for the system they had in place. But if you're Penn State and you've got the roster they have coming back,
can't happen.
With the schedule you have left, you're in big trouble.
Well, it depends how you look at it, though, because there's still some opportunities. There's still some opportunities.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you gave up 5 strokes to the field today.
That's true, but there's still some opportunities. I'm just going to say that.
Call it what you want.
That
all right.
It's not going to get easy.
Might be the focus of final exam coming up. The other marquee game was the Battle of Florida between Florida State and Miami. Carson Beck, Tommy Castellanos, Lee Corso, our legend, honored on the field. He was presented with a replica of that old jersey. Carson Beck, I'm just telling you, this is Carson Beck of 2 years ago at Georgia.
This is Carson Beck clean in the pocket. Look at the protection on all these highlights of Carson Beck in the pocket. Offensive line did an amazing job.
And with receivers that aren't dropping the ball. C.J. Daniels touchdown.
And routing guys up in one-on-one matchups right there. He really froze Jerry Wilson, came across his face, found an easy way to get in for it.
Watch this throw to Malachi Tony.
Tony had 7 catches, 107 yards, couple touchdowns. This one, another great play call to flea flicker.
Guys, I was speaking with Miami. This is a real opportunity for them to lay claim to be potentially the best team in the country, and that's Tony again.
And look, this is on a 4th and 2. Florida State trying to get back there to provide some type of pressure. They can't get back there. Carson Beck's all day baking cakes. His Tony, he does the rest of the work.
So ensuing Florida State drive, not only does Miami have the offense, but Joe, their defense is really good.
Yeah, Castellanos was 25 of 45. Look, Florida State, if Castellanos has to throw it 45 times, then you're out of rhythm. Run the football and help this young man
How
out.
about C.J. Daniels on Saturday? This is just a screen, and he just outruns the Florida State defense without breaking a sweat.
Look, C.J. Daniels is making a lot of money this season. We still remember the one-handed catch versus Notre Dame, but he's showing his versatility, catching an easy route, takes it in all the way.
You guys want to see a bonus helmet sticker?
Yeah.
Only it's on the Mike flag. Holly Rowe, bonus helmet sticker. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, gets taken out. Now watch Holly, though.
Oh, okay, Holly. Oh, she saved the
fumble
microphone.
Yeah. Look at him celebrate. Mike Irvin's a better athlete than that. Get out the way.
Doesn't fumble the mic. Yeah, $1 for Irving, helmet sticker for Holly Rowe. The score not indicative of what we saw out of Miami. Onside kick goes awry. Miami's won 3 straight against ranked opponents for the first time of the season since 2004. Statement made. The U rolls.
Well, they spent a lot of time on the field. You know, we came out and really started strong on offense, and then we didn't sustain some drives after that. Had a chance at 28-3 to really put the thing away, and we didn't. And then, you know, at the end, chart says go ahead, 4th and whatever, 8+. So we did. They got the ball back, kicked the field goal, and made it interesting at the end.
You know how the social media world works. Everybody's going to be talking about Miami's back and all that stuff. But with a bye week here, how do you keep the rat poison out?
We don't care, Holly. We really don't care about that. We care about one thing and one thing only, the University of Miami Hurricanes. Getting better each and every week. We've gotten better. We've got a long way to go. We're 1-0, and we're state champs.
Thank you.
State champs.
State champs. I love that. No hearts. Can't lose. Roll Tide revenge. Did they get it against Vanderbilt? And Dabo Swinney made Chapel Bill, Chapel Hell, maybe rock bottom for North Carolina football. But it's back with you. First time Alabama and Vanderbilt has met as ranked teams since 1937. You guys remember when Vanderbilt won last year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Diego Pavia, big reason why. 0-0. Cedric Alexander, one cut, gone for 65.
And this is looking like last year.
It is.
Gashing with the run game, great off tackle, big touchdown.
So, Joey, they get